everyone, this is Victim's Voice. With me is Mary Houlihan, Director of Victims Advocate. Mary, thanks for being here with me today.
Thank you.
And the reason that I invited Mary here today is I want her to talk more about the relationship that she has with victims and how hard it is to work with victims of crime.
Well, and I think what you're talking about when you ask how hard it is, it's part of my role as a victim advocate is to explain the criminal justice system to victims. What they quickly find out is it's very different than what they believed before they became a victim of a crime. So I'm always saying how we really relay a lot of bad news. And since I work with Lorena, she knows that the downside of that can be that we as victim advocate kind of come to represent the entire criminal justice system to victims because we're the ones they deal with most, even when what we're explaining or describing has nothing to do with the way we think it should be or what we think is fair. What we're generally describing is the law, and the law has a lot of limitations that work against victims, unfortunately. So when we describe that, for instance, this guy is out on bond, and they say to us, "What do you mean he's out on bond? He's confessed. There's a picture of it. He's already, everybody already knows he's guilty." I have to say, let's wind it back a little bit. The whole system is based on innocent until proven guilty, and sometimes, like we have to say around here, when a defendant that has already confessed to the crime then pleads not guilty, what that's basically them saying to the court is, okay, prove it, or to us, because the burden is on the Commonwealth to prove the guilt of people even after they've confessed, even after they're on video doing it, even after there's a lot of witnesses, even after everybody knows they did it. We have to then prove it to the courts, and that has its own set of complications that victims just often don't understand.
How often do you find victims getting mad at you for no reason?
Well, it's generally not for no reason. What it generally is they, like I said, since we become the face of the criminal justice system to us, you really can't do this job if you take people's outrage personally, because I've been screamed at many a times for things I have no control over, even when I try to describe that I feel the same frustration as you. I believe that legislators should take victims into consideration when they're making these laws. When legislators and media and the attention of the general public is focused on getting people out of jail to decrease our budget or to whatever the current issue is, they're not considering that somebody somewhere is going to have to explain all of this to a victim that says, what do you mean they're released? What do you mean they're being probated? What do you mean they're paroled? What do you mean they're not going to jail? What do you mean the police only wrote a citation instead of making an arrest? And they want to blame the overall agencies that are involved, but you're the one they're talking to, so you're the one that's getting hollered at about it. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm able to deal with a lot of that, and I know it's not my particular Mary Houlihan's fault that all of this is occurring, but to me, I also react against things like when they do blame the police. Why didn't the police arrest? I take the time to explain to them, police would love to arrest too, but the legislature has taken away their right to do so and told them instead to write a ticket. Now, I wish the legislature or the individual legislators had to go talk to somebody whose home has just been burglarized and is being told at that time that even though they just identified who the person was that did it, that person's getting a ticket and walking away. That doesn't work, legislators. You should take into consideration what victims experience, and you should also take into consideration why law is there in the first place, which is to guide behavior. We're not guiding behavior when we're giving slaps on the wrist or when we are letting the criminals run the criminal justice system.
That's true. Thank you very much for your time and for all you do for this office.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
See you all next time.